Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we're gonna be talking about, can you afford to live in Atlanta? More preferably, buying a home. Can you afford to buy a home in Atlanta? We're gonna talk about that today. Let's get into it right now. Before we get into the video, allow me to do my introduction to you guys. If this is your first time here, my name is Raymond Riley Jr. and I am a real estate broker and realtor here in Atlanta, Georgia. And I work with buyers and sellers that are looking to relocate, or if you're already here, purchase a property within the Atlanta metropolitan area. Also, feel free to reach out to me if you have questions or you're ready to get your buying or selling process started. All of my contact information is in the description below, as well as on the screen, probably flashing in front of you right now. So without further ado, let's go ahead and discuss the video at hand. Can you afford to live in Atlanta? So what we're gonna do in today's video is I'm gonna break down the median sold prices here in Atlanta, right? And then I'm gonna tell you exactly how much income or household income combined that you need to make versus your debt in order to qualify for that amount of buying power. Also, before I get started, I want to preference this video by saying affordability is relative. Depending on your living circumstances, you could feel that these numbers that we're going to talk about today are affordable, and you may feel that they are not affordable. So just kind of keep that in mind, that affordability and numbers are very relative to the person that is hearing the information. Also, I want to say that most of my opinion is going to be predicated on the average population in the area, right? So we're trying to contrast the average Atlantean. Can you afford to live there? However, most of you guys watching this video are probably sitting in another state, another city, trying to evaluate if Atlanta is a good option for you to move to. And you're trying to get a determination as to the cost of living and how much it costs to live there in Atlanta. Buying like a house or buying a condo, buying a townhouse, you're trying to get that information. So that is what we're gonna tackle in this video. But I just wanted to put those disclaimers out there because everybody is not in the same boat. The current median sold price for November of 2022 was a whopping $387,000. Okay, so that means the median sold price out of all of the real estate combination of townhomes, single family, all of that included, residential only, but the median sold price was $387,000 for the month of November. So for purpose of this video, we're only gonna be looking at $387,000 for our price range, okay, as it relates to how we're running our numbers. So I'm gonna flash some stuff on the screen as it stands right now, and I'm gonna break this down for you right now. So using that median sold price of $387,000 for the city of Atlanta only, all right, we're only looking at the city of Atlanta. I want to make that clear. We can ascertain that the mortgage would be roughly $3,126 per month using a prime credit score that can yield an interest rate of 6.694% and the taxes and fees that are comparable to what you see on the screen in the calculations there with the red box around it, okay? So there you have it. So that's what the mortgage is gonna be for a property with the current mortgage rates as of today. We're in December making this video, okay? Now let's move on to talk about buying power. How much income versus our debt do we need to show in order to afford $387,000 with the current rate? So let's load up a new screen to show you what that buying power calculation looks like. Okay, so as you can see, with only $250 per month in revolving debt, okay? That's things like credit cards, student loans, car note, whatever, anything that reports monthly. They add up all of those balances and they calculate that as your revolving debt, okay? So with a revolving debt of only $250, you would need to have a household income of $112,520 to afford the median sold price in Atlanta city limits. Now, let's factor in more debt, all right? Because most Americans have more than $250 reporting monthly, right? More than $250 worth of revolving obligations per month. vis-a-vis credit cards, student loans, all that stuff. So for a more comparable, numbers based on like a real life situation, because not everybody just have only $250 reporting credit. You're gonna have more people with more revolving debt than you are gonna have with 250 only. So let's look at some better numbers. Popping on the screen now is gonna be factor in these things here. So let's just say that your student loan, so let's say you have a car note, student loan, and credit card debt. Let's say that your car note is $500. So let's say your student loans is $300 per month. Then let's keep your credit card debt still at $250 per month. That's now a total of $1,050 per month in revolving debt. Okay. With the new figures, take a look at that. With the new figures, you will now need to have a household income of $139,190 in order to qualify for the $387,000 buying power. All right. So those are your two figures. So if you have very little debt, like under $250 revolving per month, you need to make about $113,000 rounded up. Okay. If you have more debt, like $1,000-ish or $1,100, well, the exact calculations was $1,050 per month. If that's the case, you need to have $139,190 in household income. Now, here's the caveat too that you need to, not caveat, but you need to keep in mind that if you're married, obviously it's combined income, right? So that helps. We're gonna talk about that here in a second. Let's keep moving. So now that you have the amount of household income that you need to have and your maximum allowed debt, right? For those two figures, let's talk about, what's the likelihood of you actually obtaining income to meet those obligations. Now, as I just said just a minute ago, if you're married, these numbers are very easy to obtain in a way. Work with me. $112,520 divided by 2 is $56,125 per person, split evenly. Okay, so that's $60,000 a year each person. Very easy to do in 2022. I shouldn't say very easy to do, but there are good paying jobs that can yield you that $60,000 annually, here in Atlanta for certain. All right, now let's look at the $139,000 figure divided by 2. So $139,190 divided by 2, that now puts you up at $69,000, pretty much almost $70,000 per person. Okay, so now, what is the likelihood of you obtaining a job in Atlanta within those two figures? I would say that Atlanta has a lot of tech jobs, a lot of innovative jobs that are yielding 6 figures fairly easy. Okay, now the level of competition for those jobs, I mean, they are fierce, and I think that there are a lot of educated people in the Atlanta metropolitan area, and so that even more complicates the competitiveness, and so that's a whole nother conversation on employment and if Atlanta is a good place to find employment. We'll talk about that in future videos, but I just wanted to kind of paint the picture of the median sold price, how much money do you need to make, and what needs to be your allowed debt revolving to be able to secure that buying power. So hopefully you're walking away from this video so far understanding what those numbers are. Now, all of that being said, my conclusion is Atlanta is ultimately affordable if you can yield a high paying job. If you are where you are currently right now in a very mid-tier or low-tier type of industry, or your current salary is fairly low tier, you're probably going to have some issues with affordability. Just putting it out there. Now, again, we use the median sold price. Another trick would be, do you need a house like the median sold price, which is going to be, your average 3-bedroom, 2-bath, nothing really spectacular. All right. Keep in mind that if you're looking for something more spectacular in the safest and most desirable neighborhoods, in the best school districts with the most accessibility to amenities, it's going to be more than $387,000. So then obviously, yes, you're talking about more of an affordability challenge, especially in the current interest rates that we have right now. So Atlanta is nothing special in that regard. We're being hit just like everybody else is being hit with the interest rates and it affecting the buying power. So, but that's my conclusion on the affordability. It is affordable if you can yield a high-paying job. If you cannot yield a high-paying job, or your industry is not a high-paying industry, then Atlanta City is definitely going to be a lot more unaffordable than other places. I'm thinking about doing this on other areas, other suburbs that I've covered. If you want to see that on other suburbs, drop a comment down below and let me know. And the more I see interest in that, we'll go ahead and produce some content to start to show you which areas may be more affordable to you, so forth and so on. All right. In my next video, I'm going to talk about Atlanta's top paying jobs. So I want to kind of paint these pictures as to what industries are going to be more advantageous to move here, right? So if you're thinking about moving to Atlanta, Georgia, you definitely want to hit that like button to, let me know you liked the video. But more importantly, hit that subscribe button because you want to be notified when I post more content about Atlanta's affordability as well as Atlanta's top jobs. If that is you, become a part of the family. All right. Also, 2023 is going to be crazy. We got more content coming. So thank you for all of the 7,600 plus people that have decided to subscribe to the channel. It means so much to me. For me, this is a labor of love. I enjoy providing this value. It helps me be able to produce this content to share with my clients that may, approach me off of the YouTube platform. And also it definitely allows me to give you guys here on the platform information so that you can utilize it to start your research. Obviously, I would be overjoyed to be your realtor to work with you as it relates to you buying or selling here in the Atlanta metropolitan area. So thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.